In your approximation, what are the most, or some of the most pressing or serious cultural happenings that Christians face today?
Abortion and same-sex marriage. There are a host of other cultural things that are layered underneath and things that help bring these things about. But I would say those are the critical issues of the day, and it's because they're clear violations of God's law in the top tier. They're clear violations of the Ten Commandments. They are not tucked away in a corner. Everybody knows about them because the Planned Parenthood videos have brought abortion back to the forefront. The Obergefell decision has imposed same-sex marriage on us, so it's all still fresh. Everybody knows about the issues. The sins involved are massive, so it's not just a serious sin that somebody commits, but it's widespread, nationwide sort of thing. A close third would be the pornification of everything. There are some things in the history of law, and there are some ways that we got here that we want talented people to drill down and go into some of the other issues, the issues of federalism, and how does the Supreme Court think that they have the right to impose their weird definition of marriage in all 50 states. To the extent our idolatrous culture is worshiping their idol, they become more and more like that. Okay, well, what idol does our culture worship? Well, it's a materialistic culture. We worship time and chance acting on matter. So evolution. Okay? Now what that means is that we believe it's axiomatic in the academy and all the way down in education, down to kindergarten. It's axiomatic that the world got here by evolutionary means. And that principle is that absolutely anything can turn into absolutely anything else. Transformation is the name of the game. Metamorphosis is the name of the game. All right, that's what evolution is. Right? So, if in the beginning was the hydrogen that exploded, and that hydrogen eventually became walruses and elephants and the Taj Mahal and Princess Di, and if hydrogen can do that, then why can't a dude put on a wig and use the ladies' room? Our ultimate value is ultimate change. Nothing is fixed. There is no nature. Nature doesn't have a nature.
How would an almost idolatrous focus, or how would an idolatrous focus on a system wherein the focus is to bring one's genes into the next sort of generation, an obsessive and idolatrous focus on the survival of the fittest and a continuation of the human race through that system, be something that would lead to an institution that is essentially sterile and to the killing of one's children so that they would not create the next.
That's not a silly question at all. It's a profound question. And what it points to is this. The only faith, the only axiomatic faith that can begin with true premises and reason out to no self-contradiction is the Christian faith. Everybody else has to start with axiom A, and then they reason for a while, and they have to get at some point to not A. Every idolatrous system not only causes the worshipers to conform to that reality, but part of that reality is contradictory. I honestly don't think that political action is going to get anywhere without reformation in the church. I think there has to be liturgical reformation. I think there has to be musical reformation. I think there has to be a preaching reformation, a doctrinal reformation in the church. Worship was recognizably traditional, dignified, solemn, joyful across the Christian world up to the 60s.
You mentioned that particularly abortion, same-sex marriage, are the two major cultural forces that Christians face. And one of the things I'm wondering is how can Christian leaders, particularly pastors, equip Christian lay people, individuals in their congregation, to face and to confront those cultural realities?
Well, I would say that they should teach and preach the whole counsel of God. So you can't, one of the jokes or sayings in Christian circles is, little 15-minute sermonettes for Christianettes. Right? And the problem is, if you have a little 15-minute homily a week, right, and you consider the Christian faith a course that you're enrolled in, how much would you learn in college if you took a course that had 15 minutes of content a week? It's absurd.